fiber optic connection. I can't make it any better, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, let's just do this.
They're full of it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. It says that we are live. It is time to get started because we need to get going here because some of you might be going to the place that we're talking about in today's topic, which is the gun show. Welcome to Caliber Corner. This is season 4, podcast number 201. Oh my gosh, we are getting old. And today we're going to talk about gun shows. You know, is there any point anymore? Are there any good deals that you can find? I know the idea is the expression of our ability to buy and trade and sell firearms, and we do that legally and openly in a wonderful kind of environment. But when it comes to the gun shows, you know, with the way things were looking last year, you know, unfortunately, a lot of them didn't happen. So if you're watching this and you found any good deals at gun shows so far, make sure you put that in the chat and let us know. And let's have a little discussion about it. What kind of things do you look for maybe that are not firearms related when you go to gun shows? And, you know, you might be one of those people that goes to them, doesn't go to them, or can't go to them because maybe they don't host them in your state. So, but anyway, before we get into that discussion, let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves. They are bright, chipper, awake this morning. Single shot, you're on point. How you doing, brother? What's going on, man?
We're hanging in there, buddy. We're hanging in there. Got a lot of stuff going on this morning. I'm getting around here. I want to say good morning to everybody on the chat. Hope everybody has a great day. And, I got several things planned. Whether or not we actually get a chance to carry through with them, that's a different story.
You said you were loading up some ammo. What do you got going on in the pipes? What are you rolling today?
Oh, 4570, 450 Marlin, 450 Bushmaster.
Nice.
Gonna be doing some testing with the new bullet there that I just got. So
cool. Got or casted? I can't remember. These are the ones that you were casting?
Cast, yeah.
Cast, yeah. Cool.
NOE Spire Point, 262 grains, I think it is.
That's pretty light.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Just throwing a small children's shoe at somebody, you know, that's all it is, you know. But anyway, guys, hey, do check out Single Shot's channel at /shot! If you're looking for it on YouTube. And I'm sure we'll have somebody that'll post the link here in the chat on the side. You guys can definitely go subscribe. Cool.
Yeah, we're up to 200 subs. Thank you, folks.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
Excellent. And you said you're going to be giving away a Marlin 4570, is that right? I'm just
if I had one of them, it would be in my safe right now. But
oh yeah, heck yeah, all weather finish. I still need one of those. I think I'm due for another lever gun. I think everybody needs to go buy a new lever gun this year. Actually, Ruger will probably be announcing those their acquisition of Marlin. Hopefully, we'll be finding out about those soon. I think they said it was going to be late 2021. So I would imagine probably around holiday time, around December. They will start to show off what they're going to be coming out with. So yeah. Cool, man. All right. And also joining us from the wonderful, beautiful God's country state of Nebraska, we've got Defense Dad. Defense Dad, how's your morning going?
Hey,
how are things on the other side of town?
It's okay. Is this the place we talk about guns? Because that'd be pretty cool.
This is a safe place to talk about guns. We can do that. We're going to talk about guns and ammo. And absolutely. That's all we're talking about today. Really, it's just a good old fashioned gun show chat. You know, we do these about once a year. We just got to bring it up and see, you know, if there's anything new in the world of gun shows, and we'll talk about Wanamaker because that is definitely the place to go. I might try to make it out there this fall. We'll see how things are looking, and if maybe I can just run out for the day and just do a drive and maybe meet up with some people and stuff and find some good deals. So Defense Dad, you got an awesome channel. You have a wonderful farms channel. I want everybody to go check it out. Get over there and subscribe to it. What do you have going on the channel? Can you give us a little teaser about what's coming up?
Oh, let's see. I put out a video this week. It was a comparison against the G3C and the P365XL.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Next week I got a video. It's going to be a holster review, and then I have a wallet review coming out too. Got a new wallet again.
Can you tell us who the company is, or do you want to wait till the video comes out?
For the wallet?
Yeah.
Sermon Brands.
Okay, I thought maybe it was the one that the Popov wallet company that sent me my wallet a couple of years ago, because I was going to do an update video on mine, because they sometimes reach out to gun channels and have us review their stuff. So
no, yeah. I like leather goods, so I was looking.
Oh, this is leather too. Yeah,
I was looking for a new wallet. I just did a wallet video, but I found one I like better.
Gotcha. Sweet, man. So guys, make sure you check out Defense Dad's channel. It is absolutely awesome. So. All right. Also joining us, he's a couple minutes late, but we're going to let that slide because you've been with us since the beginning, and we love you. Squibblood, what's going on this morning? How you doing?
Fashionably late. It's
That's
the way I
okay.
like to.
That's right. Hey, you always make a grand entrance when you get here. So how are things going for you, man? Are you staying busy? A little too busy or what?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I shouldn't really say it that way. You know, I'm employed. I got stuff going on.
Dude, the car industry's on fire right now, man. I mean, people are buying vehicles left and right. You got that Ford Maverick coming out pretty soon. They've already got pre-sales in 100,000 of them or something is what I've been seeing in the news. Lots of cool vehicles coming out now.
Yeah, they've got some new vehicles getting released. We've taken on work when other people have, I guess dropped the ball, you could say. So, yeah, and I've got stuff going on at home too. So, I mean, nothing bad. It just
busy home life, right? You know, me too. I got work going on. I can barely get out to the range anymore. I'm going to go today, but
it's good busy, but sometimes I don't want to be busy.
No, I know. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing in certain situations, right? That's the best way to be.
Sure. Yes.
Yes. All right, man. Cool. So coming up on the channel, you got any reviews coming up? Because you got a couple channels, and I see you've been getting some good compliments on your coffee reviews. I think you need to realize that you've got talent for doing coffee reviews. So you guys check out Squibblood channel or Squibbload channel for the best coffee reviews out there, right?
No, they're not the best coffee reviews, but I mean, it might give somebody.
You're so humble.
Yeah, right. No, it might just give somebody an idea of something that a coffee that they didn't know about before, something that might be in their area on the shelf, or it might be a coffee you can order and have shipped in if you're into that. I wasn't, but now I am. So
yeah.
If you want to try out different stuff, I give my opinion. Somebody could have a different, in some of the videos I say individual results may vary, but yeah, I'm also trying to edit some automotive videos. I say trying to edit because I've been working on it. This will be the second weekend I'm working on the same video with 3 different cameras.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a mess. I've got a camera review I'm working on.
Studios. Here we go.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff I'm working on. It's just, will I complete it?
Yeah. That's always the big one, man. I know the big one is you got so many fires in the iron or irons in the fire, whatever the expression is, right?
Yeah, really no firearm stuff coming up anytime soon. Yeah. I haven't done a whole lot of that this year, but that's not all I do. So.
Oh yeah. That's right, man. Real quick, we already got a comment rolling in, and then we got a couple quick announcements to make. So Tara Smith said, I just went to a gun show. I found a few things I like. Not really any good deals. I bought a few knives, some paint cream. There were a ton of $400 to $600 guns and about $100 too much. Yeah, I'm always checking. You really got to look around because the prices at the tables can vary a lot. But before we get into the gun show discussion, a couple reminders. Today's episode is sponsored by SS Pawn, located in Lexington, Nebraska. Guys, go ahead and take the Interstate 80 exit into Lexington. SS Pawn is just there, just on the right side. Stop in there, say hello to Stan, check out the firearms, go buy something, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. Also on the left, back by popular demand, not a channel sponsor yet, but the rnldisplays.com sweet gun display over here. It's got 2 different options for you. You can mount it on this little base, and you've also got the magazine, which also has a wall mount that you can use if you want to wall mount your firearm. And again, rnldisplays.com is the finer way to display your firearms. So make sure you check out rnldisplays.com. I don't see New York Outcast out there. He's probably going to come in and be like, hey, look at that sweet gun on display. Already gave you a shout out, buddy. You're all set to go. Quick announcement. I'm just going to warn everybody right now. Just we can get our anger and aggression out now. I will be dropping an Olight video on Wednesday. Just hold your fire. Hold your fire. It's going to be a good deal. Okay. And I know that every other YouTuber does these Olight videos, but here's what I want you to do. Okay, just watch my video and then don't watch the other ones. And then you'll be happy. You'll be fine. I will leave you with a smile on your face and then go watch something else, okay? All right, good. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So if you're upset about it, just saying, Olight only gives me a flashlight like once every 6 months. I'm surprised they still do because I always break their stuff. But anyway, whew, man, I got that off my chest. I feel much better now. All right, the gun shows. Man, are there any good deals to be had anymore? Let's just throw the topic out there. When you go to a gun show, can we negotiate? Does cash have any kind of buying power anymore, getting a better price? Because every time I go, I'm seeing MSRP. The only time I find some good deals maybe is like on an old Winchester bolt action or an old shotgun. Maybe find an okay price on an SKS. What do you guys think, man? What's the take on gun shows anymore? I love them. They're great. I don't want them to stop. But do you even go anymore? That's the question.
I haven't been to too many, but when I do go, yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're looking at the people selling the current model guns, you can find them lower price in your local gun store, at least around here. But I think it's a better place to find like handmade goods if you're looking for knives or leather goods or that kind of stuff, or if you're looking for old magazines or parts. And I think that's a good place to source those. But yeah, recently from what I've saw, like you and I went to one, and the prices are just well above. Even if you can negotiate, they're well above what I can get them locally for.
Well, it's cool when the local gun store is at the gun show. That's always cool to see that too. When we went down to Wanamaker, there was a gun store from Kearney, Nebraska that was there, and that was awesome. That worked out really good in Sandhill's channel. If you know that story, maybe you don't, but you never know who you're going to see or what you're going to run into when you go to. And I see a lot of the same stores or a lot of the same dealers at the gun shows here in Nebraska, and I see a lot of the same guns that have never sold. So it's just kind of funny. There's a few unique models that I see every time at the same table, and they're asking way too much, and sometimes they don't negotiate on the price. Single shot, what's the gun show experience out there on the East Coast? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, we have them once in a while.
Okay.
And my brother and I have tried to coordinate getting things together to go to one, but things just haven't worked out. He's getting kind of disgusted the same way I am.
Okay.
And it goes along with what people have been saying this morning on the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a gun show to try to get some good deals. They don't exist. And
I'm going into it with an open mind that ammo prices are going to be ridiculous like they were last year. Defense Dad and I were walking around, and they were asking like $75 for a little box of 22 LR. And here's the thing. A lot of people are going to say, well, don't complain about it. It's a free market. It's a capitalist society, you know. But when these people won't even negotiate on the price and you've got cash in hand, it's like, come on, man, work with me here. Let's kind of in the spirit of the show, let's do some deal here,
It does break the spirit of the show when they do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to have to realize that fact and get back
on
track, or at least I hope they would.
Some of these tables have had a lot of the same guns for, I'm talking 5-6 years. Every time I go, it's like you're never going to sell this Burst of Thunder Combat to anybody but me, and you won't back off on the price. Nope. Yeah. Good talking to you. I'll see you next year.
Don't lowball me. I know what I got.
Yeah, I know what I got. Yeah, and I know what I can get to with the guy locally up the street here. So what do we got here? We got Mike saying I haven't been to a gun show in a year. Let's see. Gun Loving Grandpa says the last gun show I went to was Tulsa, which really that's about all you need, to be honest with you. The prices were basically MSRP with what I was looking at the Tulsa Wanamaker Arms Show, which is the largest arms show, gun show, if you want to call it that, in the country, if not in the world. Scott79 says gun shows on the East Coast, at least in the Northeast, suck. It's just all overpriced junk. All right. So Defense Set, I'm still kicking myself for not buying that Browning Auto 5 that we saw, though. That was don't ever let me walk away from a deal like that ever again, okay?
Now, just a minute, man. I egged you on to buy that.
And I had the money. I had the money. It was a beautiful Browning Auto 5. It was in wonderful condition, had nice engraving on it. Belgian-made model. Was it $600? $699?
That's not bad. You should have grabbed that, buddy.
And I'm like, I just don't know. And I was kind of, I'm kicking myself now because that's a $1,200 gun, $1,000 gun easy. You go online.
Then he bought a Canic, just saying.
Not at the gun show. Not at the gun
afterwards.
Show. Hey, that's a great handgun. I mean, it really was nice. And I say was because I don't have it anymore. I like it as a carry gun. It was kind of bulky and kind of big, but trigger was great. Build quality is fantastic. Yeah, it's Turkish. I know shooting these. So are half the shotguns in your gun safe. So shut up. But But that
it was really nice. I got rid of it though.
Yeah, it was good, but it was just bulkier than I thought it would be for carry. I didn't like it. I'm so used to having a small pistol, so then I got the P365 instead. So, I did make money off of it when I traded it back, so I was pretty happy about that. Oh man, so Squib, what about out in your neck of the woods? How's the gun show scene? Are they existent? Are they non-existent?
So our governor did her part to stifle the economic growth of the state and kind of put the kibosh on that for a while. They came back this year, and actually, I'm trying to remember when I heard some of my friends say they were going to a gun show. It might have been the beginning of the year.
Okay.
It was okay. So in the Metro Detroit area, there is a really big convention center.
Okay.
And we've got some big gun shows that happen there a couple times a year, and that was the one that really wasn't getting it wasn't coming back. I guess maybe it was because of the size, but in some of the more rural counties where you'd have a gun show at the VFW or someplace like that at the county fairgrounds. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning. Someplace like that, they were having gun shows, or at private gun clubs where they've got rooms for stuff where they can have big groups of people or whatnot. That they'd be holding gun shows and stuff. So there were a lot of people in different businesses or different locations, pretty much openly defying the orders right from the get-go last year. And those are the places that were getting my business, but I just didn't feel like driving 3, 4, 6 counties over to go to a gun show. So when they started opening up the big gun show in the Detroit area this year, I went to what they call Antique Arms. They do that 4 times a year there. And that's the main reason I even go to gun shows these days anymore, really. I'm not saying I don't buy anything modern at a gun show. If I see a deal, I'll get it. But I typically go for milsurps or other things. If you don't see it at your local gun store, whether it's a big box or it's a mom and pop, if you wouldn't normally see it, that's the main reason I go to a gun show. So I went to Antique Arms this year and I picked up 2 rifles. They had lots of stuff. I didn't really think the prices were inflated. I knew they were going to be a little bit more. I was also looking for 16 gauge shotgun shells for somebody, and the prices on that weren't too bad, but it was all open boxes. So you're buying partials. So I didn't have a bad experience. I thought it was about equivalent to any other antique arms show I go to or have gone to. I don't really have a point of view from going to one of the more modern, because a few times a year they'll do the regular gun show, which has got all the modern stuff and maybe some older stuff too. But they're happening here, and I can also go down to Indiana, down to Ohio if I wanted to. That's not that. I mean, if I'm going to drive 3 hours up north, I could drive 3 or 4 hours south as well. But I haven't really gone to the shows.
So you can go to Indiana and just buy it without a background check, because that's what the world thinks, and then bring your problems back to Michigan. Is that how it works?
I can buy a long gun.
It's sarcasm, people. Chill. Yeah.
I can buy a long gun, but I cannot buy a strip blower or a handgun. However, they will ship it to my FFL up here, and he can do a transfer. Well, I should say some of them will. Some of these places will ship, even these guys at the gun show, because sometimes at the gun shows, it's a private seller selling. They're pretty much unloading all their crap is what they're doing. Some old guy, and he's unloading his crap. Kind of like a yard sale. And then other times it's just the gun stores. And what's interesting, I have seen this in the past. You go to a gun store, you see a gun, you're like, they're going to be at the gun show next week. I'll just go. You go up to the gun, see him at the gun show. That gun is there, and it's marked up. And like you guys were just talking, they will not negotiate. And I'm like, well, I'll just wait a week, and when you have it back to your store, I'll get it for $50. Why would you?
Go ahead.
Well, back in the day, you could do that. You could wheel and deal. You want a gun. This guy's got it. The table across the way's got it. Have them fight over you. They'd do it. Nowadays, they don't do that stuff.
Unless it's something you absolutely have to have because you can't find it anywhere else. Just walk away.
Yeah. I was looking for a 44 Magnum revolver at the show once, And the guy in the front had one for $1,200, and the guy in the back had one for $1,200. Same finish, same barrel length, for the most part, same condition. I'm like, I'll buy from this guy, or I'll buy from the other guy, because I asked if they would come down. No. Well, there's another one here. I know there is. And it's almost like, what, did you guys have a meeting before the show and say,
probably,
well, they
probably walk around and check the competitors' prices and say, well, if he's going 1,200, I'm going to go 1,200 too, because they usually set up, obviously the night before many times. Yeah. Scott79 says it best. Most of the guns at my local gun shows, they're trying to sell brand new guns that literally, if I drove to the store, I could buy cheaper because they have to pay for the table. Now, again, here's the deal. I'm happy to go to them. I'm overjoyed that we can have them at Nebraska. I can go buy what I want freely, and that's cool. And I mean, we're not trying to say that, but it's just kind of the spirit of negotiation, or cash money talks kind of spirit. It just doesn't seem to be there anymore. And I understand that there's margins that need to be met, and there's expenses that need to be covered and stuff. So, what are some of the good deals or things that you do pick up at gun shows aside from guns? Ammo prices seem to be pretty high in general, but what do you guys find? You find anything cool when you're just looking around?
Hold up, Travis. I'd like to kind of rebut the whole. Okay, so here's the thing. It is, you got to load it in the trailer. Yeah. Get up early, load it in the trailer, drive out there, set it up at the table.
Gotta pay for diesel.
Pay for the table.
Gotta pay for that dually.
You gotta pay for all this. You gotta have people. If you need to take a break, somebody's got to man that table, or, if you're a bigger store and you've got multiple tables and a big setup, you want to have multiple. So it's costing you money, but the way you make money isn't to mark up everything and sell one item. It's to get everything off that table and bring an empty trailer back. That's how you make money.
Yeah.
And these guys forgot that. Somewhere along the line, somebody said, no, we're gonna make a profit off of every single thing, a big profit off of every single thing to recoup our costs. And if we come back with a full trailer, who cares? That's not the point of taking your merchandise to a gun show.
Yeah. Well, and part of it coming from a sales standpoint, because I've been in sales for a long time, you might make marginal profits out there, but you don't have a gun show 24/7. You make some good deals out there, so you make some relationships, so people will come to your store and spend money the rest of the year.
Yeah, hand out business cards. Make sure your banner's up there.
Tell people that's what trade for.
Have a bowl full of candy sitting by the guns,
Well, yeah, or just let people know where you're at, or.
So Squid Patriot in the Dark's pretty upset with you. He said in his comment over here, I was gonna go to the same gun show, but Squiblo decided it wasn't worth bringing the blind guy, so he ditched me.
Have you ever rode with that guy? He is such a backseat driver.
Is he really?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I bet he's probably pretty picky. Will you put him in the backseat of the Colorado? That's going to be pretty uncomfortable for anybody,
now that I've got a tonneau, he can ride in the bed.
I'd rather be in the backseat of a Volkswagen Beetle or something, A tonneau cover, you just throw him in the cab. Just get back there, Oh, man. Oh, what do we got here? Scott P79 says the P10C is a little larger in all dimensions than the Glock 19, but it feels so much better in your hand. Yeah, I met up with Roll Call 219, and I think he had a P10C, and it did fit the hand really well. Better ergos than the G19, in my opinion. Now, performance-wise, durability, I can't comment on that, but definitely a good one to look forward to. So, so some of them. I know when I go to the gun shows, I'll look at things like the Army surplus, or sometimes you can find a good deal on maybe used holster. Magazines, that's one of the best places to find magazines, especially for some of the more obscure guns. I know that a while ago when we were at Tulsa, somebody had me looking for Taurus PT 809 mags, if I'm not mistaken. It was the old hammer-fired version of the, God, I don't even know what it is anymore. The whatever, it doesn't matter. So anyway, I was looking around. I did find 2 of those magazines for that person at the gun show. They were looking for them because they couldn't get them anywhere else, and they found them at a pretty decent price, like $25 a mag. So they were pretty fair. Military surplus stuff is pretty cool. There's always the unusual things there. There's always that lady there selling beef jerky and jelly. You ever notice that? Or that dude roasting up kettle corn, little things like that always make it kind of fun. So
Coffee.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody selling, other than like the little snack stand. I don't know if I've seen anybody actually selling any kind of merch or anything like that. So
I've bought coffee and ammo from the same vendor.
So I got did you? Like, was it his own roast, or was it something?
No, I think it was the first time I ever had Black Rifle coffee. This was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the first time I ever had that. It's the ammunition company that we've got here in the Metro Detroit area called Phoenix Ammunition. They started off, well, they're still kind of small. They've got a small industrial suite, I would call it.
Complex.
Not really a complex.
I know.
They're running like a small machine shop, but they started off going to the gun shows because they didn't really have a storefront, right? And having more than just ammo to sell when people are going, who are you? We've never seen your name before. Why is this reloaded? And this is brand new manufacturer. What's the difference? So if you bring other things to the show, like shirts and coffee and stuff like that, you might make a sale. It's better than nothing. And by going to the gun shows and by going to the Second Amendment rallies, Phoenix Ammunition has gotten their name out there.
Yeah, and they're pretty popular right now too. So yeah, I mean, it's you never know exactly what you're going to see when you go to these things. It's always cool to kind of look around and see what's out there. I don't know. I'm going to try negotiating this year when I go to the shows and see just what's good. So I don't know. So I guess we haven't discussed. Are there going to be gun shows in your state, Squib, this fall? Are they slated to happen, or are they going to be shut down? Has anything changed recently? I know you kind of went into this, but I'm kind of curious about now.
I don't know. I could Google it.
Yeah, I've got the Nebraska ones on standby, so I was just going to talk about those for just a minute too. So
the governor said there aren't going to be any more shutdowns. I think she realizes that next year she's up for election, and she's got to run on the platform of strong economy, and I just don't. I don't think she's going to do that again. It would be too devastating for our economy.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Michigan Antique Arms Show, Saturday, September 20. What? Hey, hold on a minute.
Uh-oh.
I just clicked the button here.
Breaking news, everybody.
Saturday, September 25th.
Nice.
Man, I got money going in another direction.
You might have to refund those funds.
I might have to go pick up.
Don't give them to the Contras down in Central America or Iran. You need to funnel them elsewhere. So yeah.
I might have to pick up Patriot in the dark. Yeah. So let's see. The February show was canceled.
There you go, Patriot.
The April show, I think, was the one I went to. Now there's one in September 25th and 26th, and November 27th and 28th. And I know I'm just, homing in on one particular venue. There's other gun shows, but this is my go-to. It's like I said, it's at a really big convention center outside of Detroit, and yeah, it looks like they've got one next month.
Well, just calling out the elephant in the room there, Squib. You can always use your credit card.
This is true.
Not at Antique Arms.
Okay, this is not true.
At Antique Arms.
That's right. That's right. Quick heads up. So I got a text message from my stepdad that actually represents the table for one of the ranges he belongs to at the gun show that they have in Columbus, Nebraska. And he said at the Columbus, Nebraska gun show, the first night they're open for 3 hours and just the sellers get to go to that show. And that's how they know what the other dealers are selling their guns for. So just in case you're not sure about kind of the whole nature and process of the gun show, I would imagine that's probably pretty typical in most of the other shows. I know it is for a Wanamaker. I was told last year Wanamaker, maybe last fall, or I don't remember when it was, maybe 2 years ago, that they let the general public in on Friday, which is the gun night, the gun owner night, the gun store night or whatever, dealer night. So
a lot of shows are like that. Like, we're not in the gun business, but when we do shows like that, it's the first is supposed to be for vendors, but they let people in.
Yeah.
See, if I was doing that, though, this is kind of what kind of jerk I am. Like, I'd go to that thing. If I didn't know the rest of the vendors, I'd be like, okay, you're going to sell this for $1,200. You're going to sell it. We're all selling for $1,200. The next day, after Squib walked up, it's like, I'm not paying $1,200. Like, hey, over here, buddy, $950 right here.
Yeah. That's lowball the competition,
Like, oh, what? I forgot. Sorry, guys.
You laugh. He moves product.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He goes on with a full tank of diesel.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's got to be a pain to unload those trailers. They're in the back. They got to unload them. They got to take them down the long hallway into the convention center or whatever you got.
It took my just to move the little bit of stuff that I have, the guns and ammo that I have from my old apartment to my new apartment, which is only 50 yards away. It took me like 4 or 5 hours, like multiple trips, getting stuff in, out. You're trying to, protect the guns from getting all scratched up. You're bringing your ammo boxes. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I mean, I'm sure there's dudes that just throw in the back of their truck and they throw a towel over it and roll up and back up the tailgate and, you know, that's it. But I mean, it's not. I'm sure it's in some of these tables have got a ton of handguns and the boxes that go with it. I mean, you probably have to have like a, you know, like a cart or something to haul everything in on. So
I just want to know, at what point do you go to all that trouble, you pay all the fees, you give up your weekend, and you come back fully loaded or almost fully loaded every single time, and you go, what am I doing wrong? Or why am I still doing
it's like
this?
playing lottery, dude. You might find a good deal. You might maybe network with somebody. You might, and I'm sure that there are going to be first-time gun owners that'll go to a gun show because they don't know any better. It's like, hey, I can go buy a gun here. There's going to be a big selection. There's going to be lots of prices. It's like a swap meet. I mean, sure, there's a lot of customers that do that because they don't know any better, and that's fine. But we'll comment over here from Luke B. People are overpricing Wassers these days, at least at Oklahoma gun shows. I want to say that the Wasser, one of the Wasser, like the GP or 10 or whatever it was called, I was looking at them over on Classic Firearms. I want to say they were $1,099, $1,100 for a Wasser on Classic, but their prices changed quite a bit. Luke B says $1,400 for a Zastava Z-Pap. I just walked away from his booth without saying anything. Scott 79 says all AKs are overpriced right now. All have been since COVID, which without the importation of 762 by 39, you know, with that, you know, drying up as the year goes on, I'm wondering if people are still going to continue to buy AKs. I mean, there's still ammo readily available if you don't mind paying for it. You can get it if you look around. You can still get it, but yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I was thinking maybe AK prices would maybe start to drop off as time goes on because less people will be buying them, especially like 5.45. You know, if you can't get that anymore, if you can't find, at least we've got suppliers of domestic 762 by 39, and we can also get other brands like Cellular and Below and PPU. Winchester loads 762 by 39. Hornady does under the Black series if you don't mind paying $1 a round. It's good stuff, but you're going to pay a premium for it. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's going to seem kind of crazy, but I would probably just get into reloading 762 by 39 for the long haul. That's what I would do personally. I've got plenty of 762 by 39, but I probably would just get into it. I know it's brass, and I know it seems like it's pointless because of, you know, trying to retrieve it after your AK lobs it and you're doing 30-round mags. But if you just take up your time, you could probably get yourself a nice stock of 762 by 39 built up for probably close to what it's going for right now, which is $500 for a case of 1,000, just what I've seen for sale, you know, online. And so, yeah, I'm really, really curious about the ammo prices, what we're going to be looking at the gun shows this fall. Because Defense Dad, you and I went to one, was it back in October?
Yeah.
We went to that one. What town was that? Was it?
I think it was Ashland, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ashland Gun Show. And I mean, they had some pretty good deals on stuff, you know, some older rifles and things like that.
Well, I saw some deal. I didn't have the money at the time, but there was that guy that had like 8 or 9 broom handle Mausers.
Yeah.
And he had decent prices on those. I just didn't have the extra money to sit around to buy one of those.
But the ammo prices were horrible, and that was kind of the peak of the empty shelves.
$60 for a bottle of hand loaded 9mm. Yeah.
Yeah. I just spent the last, Scooby, be proud of me. I spent the last, 12 months just loading up the 9 that the bullets that you gave me and the primers you gave me and stuff. But I'm sitting on 400 or 500 rounds of hand loaded hollow points that run well. That run really well. So
when you reload and you've got a decent setup and you pick up materials, components here and there and build up an inventory. When there are shortages or the price gouging and whatnot, you can just sit back and go, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not, here we go. I know people are thinking, oh, the old farts talking reloading again. No, I mean, I reload just recreationally, right? I'm not like some of these diehard guys. And I did 400 rounds just over a year, just do 50 rounds here, 50 rounds there, 100 rounds in a shot. And look, I've got 400 rounds of 9mm hollow points that would cost me normally. Today's price is close to $1 a round. So, it's something to consider. If you just take your time and get the dies, be patient, you'll find the primers, get the brass. I mean, it took me years literally before I got into actually reloading the ammo. Once I started reloading the ammo, once I got everything I needed.
It's not an overnight turnkey operation.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right?
You could, but I don't know why somebody would. But okay. So the administration bans the importation of Russian ammo, in particular cheap Steelcase ammo. Everybody's doing YouTube videos, losing their minds, and I'm going, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I reload. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree with it. I don't. But
for
it's
the
just,
guys that like the mag drops,
I mean,
or for people like to burn up,
I thought about making a video of me reloading 7.62 by 39 or 7.62 by 54 rimmed, and just putting up the camera, just going, oh man, this importation ban or something, just making a video just to be an a-hole, because
we priced it out, and you can do it for roughly about like 65 cents a round. So it's about the price of what a box of 20 is going to cost you, I think, a little bit less. So you could reload it at less than the current market price, which I'm seeing $9 for a box of 20. Steelcase 7.62 by 39 right now. Now, the bulk of what I shoot, 7.62 by 39, goes through my Ruger Ranch rifle, and I easily retrieve the brass from that. I haven't fired my AK in probably 2 years. I just haven't taken it out. And I fired, but it's just because I test a lot of guns, so I don't really get into my own safe to shoot a lot of my own firearms. But I mean, I fired SKSs and other stuff in the last couple of years. But hey, let's get into the comments real quick. There's a lot of stuff rolling in here. SS Pawns out there. Stan, good morning. He says, Travis, yesterday I ordered 1,000 rounds of 357 mag on an online website, 90 cents a round. My wholesale distributors can't get it. You might want to buy if you see 357 mag on the shelf. All I'm seeing for 357 mag right now, and Defense said he can maybe help me out on this, is a lot of it. It's either a few local stores that are asking $50 to $60 a box for 25 rounds, okay? Or I'm finding like defense grade hollow points, which are running, $40 a box. I haven't seen just an inexpensive box of 357 mag in a long time. It's one of the reasons I've got a 357 mag pistol that Stan had loaned me that I haven't tested yet, because it's not that I really looked for it. I just haven't found a good price on just ball ammo to run through it, Yeah,
the last time I saw it, I bought all the boxes they had.
I might hit you up for a box of 25 if you can spare some. So, because I haven't seen anything, and I don't want to pay $60 a box. I can tell you that for just regular like Blazer. I mean, it's ridiculous that some of these prices are still around. Luke B says, I almost bought some 223 dies at the store just to start buying this stuff. I used to reload 28 gauge as a kid on my dad's equipment. Yeah, get into. I mean, like I said, it seems crazy. It is an investment, but if you're going to reload for the rest of your life, the cost per round is going to go, it's going to keep going down, especially if you're able to grab that brass and recycle it. Hell, buy a shell catcher for your AR, a brass catcher, get the little bag on the side so that you can keep your brass if you're just going to be doing some benching and stuff like that. And you can load some nice, 62 grain rounds or some 77 grain rounds, nice quality bullets, something that goes beyond the 55 grain, full metal jacket stuff that you were running. So
with regard to gun shows and reloading, you can find some deals sometimes on a used press, a used scale. Dies.
Check Facebook Marketplace. That's where I bought my shotgun reloaded for like $50. I got a nice old mech 12 gauge reloader that came with a bunch of bars and everything. I paid $50 for it, and it was already mounted on like a heavy sheet of wood. So I've got it just sitting off to the side right now. And yes, I mean, I've got enough stuff right now to do probably about 500 rounds of 12 gauge if I wanted to. I was going to do a season of trap, and then I decided not to. But I've got the stuff I need to run it if I want to. So, yeah.
If you're considering getting into reloading, but you don't want to shell out the money for everything all at once, you don't have to, first off. It's not like it's going to, dissolve or something. You can set on it for a while. And you're picking it up one at a time or two, little here, little there. Look around at the shows. If your local store doesn't have dies in stock, or you're trying to shop online and everybody's out of stock and you're looking for a particular die set, you might find it used at the store. Or at the gun show. And used dies, there's nothing wrong with them. And depending on what brand they are, they're going to have a lifetime warranty. So
yeah, Lyman's a 50% off replacement cost on anything. No, Lee, I think it's 50% off if it fails.
Yeah, but I mean,
over lifetime,
you can just email them, and they'll pretty much send you. I mean, they handle their warranties really well.
Okay, but I've never had to use Lee before. I've got I use Lee stuff, but I've never had to really exercise that warranty. So
and some of the stuff that if you go to order it, it's some of the replacement parts are free of charge when you go to order, because they know that these things wear out and break and stuff, and they're not the only one out there. They've all got their different stipulations as far as their warranty. But if you see used dies and you go, they're used, I don't know, these things will last a lifetime. Seriously. So that's something. And a press is the same way. A press, if it's taken care of, it could last a lifetime. You could hand it off to your kids and grandkids. So if you can find a deal at the gun show on reloading equipment, I don't recommend buying components at a gun show. I'm just
unless it's a caliber, like, for the longest time, I couldn't find 308 dies and my life depended on it. And now they're finally coming back on the shelf. Like I tried finding them, 6 months ago and couldn't find them. So that's why I went to Foos's place to reload because I said heck with it, instead of spending $40 on that, or if I could find them, they were asking double the price on eBay. So
no, not the dies. I mean primers and powder.
Okay. I can even find dies for $308 for a while there. Yeah.
I don't recommend buying if you are going to buy powder. If the factory seal's been broken, walk away. Unless you want to collect the bottle. It's an older bottle and you want it on your reload bench because it looks cool. I get that, but I would not recommend using powder from an open container. Primers, it's going to be hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, because you don't know what condition this person stored them in. If they didn't store them in a good, the right condition, these things could have absorbed moisture and you've just bought a bunch of duds.
And they don't typically come in a airtight container. They just come in a little slider pack with a piece of tape over the end of it. So you're not going to get an airtight seal. They're not vacuum sealed. So I would not, I want to tell somebody don't pass up a good deal, but definitely know the price per primer if you're going to be looking at them at a gun show, because primer prices have just been insane. They were crazy last year too at the gun show that Defense Side and I went to. They were asking like 10 times more than what you would expect to pay. It's like, oh my God. It's like, you want $100 for 100 small rifle primers? Really? Literally, those are the price tags we were seeing. All right, let's go back to the comments. Oh, go ahead.
You could go to the gun show with a gun in mind and a wallet full of cash and either not find it or nobody wants to give you a deal. And you're like, I don't want to walk out of here empty-handed. And you look over and there's a scale or there's a press or there's a set of dies or calipers or the bullet puller or something like that. And it's not a bad price. And you're like, I'm not leaving here empty-handed. I had to pay for parking. And you pick it up and that's how you start. And then the next thing you know, you're buying this and you're buying that, and after a year or two you've got your complete setup and you didn't miss it.
And me, I bought a complete Lee. It was, I don't know if it was the anniversary kit or whatever they called it. I got everything off of Amazon. After you had hooked me up with those components, I bought the full set. I got a good deal on the price. It was under $200, but I know that the prices went skyrocketed like 6 months ago. The kits were going for 2 times more than they were, the previous year. So if you look now, the prices on reloading stuff is starting to go down. I mean, even like a single press, people are asking like $125 on a $40 single press or $50 press. So you got to watch you definitely got to know your prices before you go to a gun store. Do some research or have your phone with you. Go check a couple different stores online, like Graff & Sons is a great place to go to just check what's available now at that price versus what you might pay locally. And their shipping seems to be pretty fair. I know, Squib, you've done a lot of business with them. Ordering reloading components, is that right?
Yeah, and I've talked to them at NRAM, and they're a family-owned business. I like the fact that they've got stuff in stock when other places don't, or they've got stuff that other places don't, and their pricing is fair. They'll have deals like Midway or any of the other ones on shipping. If you sign up for the newsletter, I know sometimes you don't want to have your inbox full of that crap. If you sign up for the newsletter, they'll send you things like that. And just like any other place, you can do the product notification. And that's how you end up finding stuff when everybody else is going, I can't find nothing. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes they'll get in components or something and you'll get the notice while you're at work. And by the time you get home, it's sold out.
It's like Brownells too. Brownells is the same way. You get this email or PSA, you get this email alert and like, you just got to go to the bathroom 2 minutes later and you're sitting there looking up and it's gone. It's already gone, Don't
even set up notifications with classic firearms because it sold out before it actually was available for sale.
So Midnight Rain says, I consider gun shows entertainment. That way I don't feel like I need to buy something. You want some entertainment, buddy? Come to one of my family reunions. You think the circus came to town, brother?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I look at them like what I used to do swap meets because I used to build muscle cars, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun to go look and like, oh, I might find a hubcap for this. I could use this for something. I mean, it's just, you can look for different pieces. It doesn't have to, you can look for specific stuff, but it's like, there's a lot of stuff there. Take a look.
SS Pawn is saying last year it was a shortage of primers. Now I'm hearing a shortage of copper. And it could be because of the advances and the increase in consumption of copper ammunition, because a lot of people are going with whatever they can find. If they can't find just regular, 115 grain FMJs, they're buying 65 grain copper bullets from, or copper loaded ammunition just to have something to shoot. And then also in a lot of places with environmental restrictions coming in, a lot of people have to shoot copper only. I think in California in certain places, aren't there restrictions on lead bullets and stuff or lead ammo?
Yeah.
Yeah. AWAG says, I got 400 rounds of M193 for $180 at a local gun shop. Let's see. Luke B says, I haven't seen 357 mag on the shelf in almost 2 years. Luke B also says that now that we are talking reloading again, he's talking reloading again, and his wife is not happy about that. And I said, you can go ahead and email your frustrations to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com, and they will take care of you there. It's my customer service line. Luke B says, I'd love to run across one of those Ruger Model 77s and 762 by 39. Luke B, consider the CZ527 chambered in 762 by 39. Their availability is starting to show back up again online. You're looking at $700 to $800. They were about $650 pre-pandemic prices, but it's got that old world craftsmanship to it. It's one.
That's a gorgeous gun.
I want one, and you can still get them with the field sights on them, the iron sights on them. They're making a new one called the CZ527 American, and it doesn't have the iron sights on it. It just has optics only. I would never get that. If I bought one, it would be straight up just for the iron sights. I wouldn't even put an optic on it. So defense that if we see one of those, and it's $800 or less, I'm going to buy one. Okay. If we, I don't think I've ever actually.
But honestly, I've been looking for one myself. But yeah.
Well, they're on Gunbroker right now, and the prices are. I'm seeing $700.
Yeah. The only thing with those, if you're going to put an optic on it, so the arm for the bolt is it can interfere with the optic, so you got to be a little careful there.
I would just enjoy it for the iron sights that my Ruger Ranch doesn't have on it. Although we had mentioned we can get aftermarket sights for that. But yeah, they got a beautiful trigger, beautiful. The stocks look amazing. It's got a nice traditional blued finish. Magazines are $60 a pop because, well, it's CZ and that's just what CZ does. But that, I mean, I wouldn't care. I'd just buy 2 or 3 more mags and just be happy for that. It's a bucket list gun of mine. I do want to pick up one of those. So if I see one at a gun show, that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I don't know if the 527, that model number comes in other calibers. They make the 5 series in a variety of different calibers, and so I know you can get them like that, but like they do 6.5 Creedmoor, and I know they do like 22 LR and stuff like that. What else we got coming in for comments over here? I hope we're not missing anything. That's pretty much, you see that PSA just announced on YouTube that they're going to put together Romanian parts kits for sale. Okay. You want to try to assemble your own AK, man? I mean, I'm sure it's possible. Scott79 says there's one seller on Gunbroker that's trying to sell a production polish barrel, BERYL, for like $6,000. You know, I did post something on YouTube the other night. I did get a few comments on it. I put it over in the community chat. I'm looking for a Noveske N4 Gen 4 Diplomat in 5.56 or 300 blackout, and I just happened to go over to Gunbroker and I find one. And a person can do this, but the guy is literally asking $1,000 over retail for this gun. And I know it's Noveske, and I know they're rare. And I know for a lot of people, it's just overblown hype, and you're just you're paying for the marketing. I think they make great rifles. I'd love to own one someday, but I'm not going to pay $1,000 over retail. I'll pay $300, maybe $400, but not $1,000. I'll just wait another 2 or 5 years to find one. You know, so that's kind of. I've never seen one of those at a gun show before, but I'm sure there's probably one floating around Wanamaker and stuff like that. So. So real quick, let's just take a look, and I'll just talk about what we got going on for Nebraska gun shows. We got a ton of them coming up here, and then we'll talk about Wanamaker because that is the one to go to. So coming up this weekend, we've got the Council Bluffs Gun Show in Council Bluffs, Iowa. I think at that one, I can buy the long guns, but I can't buy the handguns without having to have them shipped over to an FFL. But that's a big one. September 11th and 12th in Nebraska, we've got the Brule Gun Show. September 12th and 13th, we've got a pretty big one, the Columbus Rifle Club Gun Show. That's the one that they've got a ton of tables there. Prices were high last year. Prices were not so bad about 2 years ago. Lincoln's having September 25th and 26th, the Modern and Black Powder Gun Show. There's the Hastings Gun Show, October 2nd and 3rd. Council Bluffs Gun Show, again, October 8th, 9th, and 10th is going to be coming up. Defense Tab, we got the Ashland Gun Show on the 9th and 10th. The McCook Gun Show on the 9th and 10th. And then it goes on. Nebraska's got the entire list of gun shows. So if you're looking for something, come visit our state, come check it out, come hit some of our gun shows. You might find some happiness there. So yeah, lots of good stuff. All right, so let's talk Wanamaker. Squib, have you been to Wanamaker before? Have you ever been to it?
No. So 2 things have put me off from Wanamaker. The time of year they have it. It's during spring break and opening rifle season.
Well, okay.
Who's the moron who decided that?
Well, that's probably why, because it's a free time for a lot of people. But yeah, for me, it's always a week before or a week after, like fall break or Thanksgiving, or you know, I wish it would coordinate more with my schedule, because then I got to like run out to Tulsa, which is like an 8-hour drive for me, 8.5-hour drive for me, and then you know, Yeah.
I've literally driven through Tulsa while all you guys were at Wanamaker and waved because we were heading back home.
Hey, I had fun. I had a good time. So
for spring break, we went out west. We love driving out west, and we were driving back. And I'm like, I got 3 hours. I could pull off and meet everybody at the gun show. I just waved and kept going. I just wanted to get the heck out of Oklahoma.
Go ahead.
The other thing is somebody told me almost everything there is cash only. And even though I go to Antique Arms where most things are cash only, it's a short drive. And when I hear people talk about Wanamaker, they go, oh my goodness, they had guns there. And it's like, dude, do you not have gun shows where you're at? And I know people say it's the biggest gun show and you're going to find stuff that you can't.
It's awesome.
I have gone to Antique Arms and I have seen stuff that you would only see in a museum for sale. So I don't need to drive 20 some odd hours and spend the amount of money in fuel that I could spend at the local show and come home with 2 guns. So Wanamaker for me, it isn't appealing from that standpoint. If I lived in Oklahoma or Kansas or Nebraska, it was a shorter drive. If I lived in Texas, it was a shorter drive. If I didn't have gun shows in my area, I suppose. But, I've heard about the long lines and everything else, and it's just like, no, not me.
Okay, the lines aren't that bad. The lines in the bathroom are pretty nasty, but otherwise everything else is basically, let me just explain how big this gun show is. If you've never been to it, it's 4,200 tables. So if you go during the 2 days that standard consumers are allowed to go to it, you could spend, I think it was 12 seconds per table and still not have enough time during their normal operating hours to see every single table in the complex. It's 11 acres. And it is massive. The coolest thing that they had, though, this was just awesome. So if you've ever heard of Build-A-Bear at the mall, where you go pick out like the bear that you want and the accessories that go with it and like the eye color and the clothes and stuff like that, they build a bear, like a teddy bear for you for little kids, right? They had a build an AR setup where you basically started at one end. You chose your upper, you chose your lower, you could get different colors and stuff. You chose your handguard, you chose your muzzle device, your optics, your stock, your furniture, and they would put it together for you, and then you would check out at the end of the line like you were buying like something off a buffet line. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that was one of the things, that was one of the biggest memories of Tulsa. But I mean, I'll tell you, when I was there, like, what was it? Defense Head, you said you're looking for a broom handle Mauser. Well, you go to Tulsa, there's like 50 tables of broom handle Mausers. Like if you're looking, the only thing I didn't see a lot of is like I saw one PS90 and like one FN, whatever it was called, their 2000, that rifle that they sold. There was a lot of things I didn't see that I thought I was going to see, but we were also coming off of a dry spell of black guns when everybody was buying them a couple of years ago. So you couldn't get ARs with that unless it was a good price. You couldn't get, I think it was what was it? It was right after the election. I can't remember, but anyway, I was surprised there was a lot of things I didn't see there, but it was cool to check out a lot of the old collectibles and stuff like that too. Tons and tons. Well, I don't want to say tons. They have a minimal percentage that they allow of non-guns at the show, but it's like 90% guns, basically. New York Outcast is out there. He says the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival is October 10th and 11th. Also, Travis, okay. New York Outcast says Tulsa isn't worth the trip for me. And it depends on the cost for you to get there. Outcast, I understand completely. I mean, 8 hours for me, that's not bad. Some people drove in from, the coast of Houston to get to it. So, I mean, it's, yeah.
And I'm not opposed to the long road trip, especially if you can do other stuff along the way. But for me, like I said, to go all the way out there to a show that I can go to that's 45 minutes away 4 times a year, it just doesn't, and for Outcast, yeah, he doesn't fly. I don't know. I think he thinks he's BA or something. We can't get him in an airplane. So, yeah, to drive all the way from upper state New York to Tulsa would be it. But once again, if you turned it into a family vacation, it's a week, you could make it part of it. I would say that would justify the expense, or just to say you've done it because all the cool kids do it or something like that. It's just, I think if there's something in your area, like if you live in around Pennsylvania, you're going to go to the Great Outdoors Show in January or February instead of going to maybe NRAM, or if you're that big, SHOT or TriggerCon or something like that. If you live in the Northwest, you're going to go to TriggerCon, right? If NRAM is near where you live or it's only a couple states over, then like this year it was supposed to be in Texas. They canceled it. But too bad for them. But to drive from here to Texas, I considered it, but I think next year they're going to have it in Kentucky, so that's a short drive for me, relatively speaking. So it's really just a matter of where you live. To ask you, Travis, to drive to the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival, it's on the Pennsylvania-New York border. That's a heck of a drive for you.
It's about a day. I would guess maybe 20 hours or something like that. So yeah,
but But I will say,
if Honda made an airplane, New York Outcast would probably fly.
Honda does make an airplane.
Commercial.
Well, it's a private jet. But anyhow, if you do live up in the area up there in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, even Ohio, maybe West Virginia, the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival is a couple days. It's up at the Tommy Gun Warehouse. That's Tommy Gun or Thompson, Arms, Desert Eagle, that sort of thing. They've got a store, and in there they sell ammo and accessories and guns. And if it's a handgun, you can have they will ship it to your FFL, because the guy tried to sell me a Desert Eagle.
You should have bought one, dude. 44 mag, they're freaking sweet.
Yeah, I know. I do. I want one. But I spent that money on truck accessories. And then they've got a range. They've got a range where you can shoot full auto. You've got to wait in a line to get on a shuttle bus, and they take you down to the range. They've got vendors out there, tents and vendors and food. And they've got an open stage where they do seminars and some entertainment. They had the traveling Vietnam wall there. They had all kinds of stuff. And when everybody else was saying you have to wear a mask, they weren't pulling that crap. It's on private property. You could open carry. It's on private property. They had plenty of parking. I would recommend that you take a truck, because the parking is a little bit uphill and you're going over some rocks and whatnot. But if you had this low riding car, whatever. But I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect going to it last year, and I was pleasantly surprised. So if you live in that area and you're like, oh, we don't have anything in our area, yeah, you do. Go to it. Try it out. You'll be happy.
Now, I will say this about Wanamaker. This was kind of ironic. Is like one of the first things I noticed is I think they had a gun check-in when you got to the door, because you weren't able to carry your firearm with you, concealed or unconcealed, in the show. And I'm like, okay, the biggest gun show everywhere, and who's going to try something, or why can't I carry? And I mean, I think it's wrong that I have to disarm, okay? But then I'm looking around, and at every door, they had two sheriffs or two sheriff's deputies with full tack gear on and M4s. I'm like, okay, if somebody's going to start something, they are not going to last very long, because I had never felt safer unarmed than I ever did in my life. But I mean, I didn't like the fact I couldn't carry in the show on me concealed, but that's just anyway. So not to rag on it, but I mean, I was looking around like, okay, this is a good setup. I mean, I wish I could get this at the mall or at the movie theater,
For the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival, you have to register. You can register online in advance, or when you get there, you're going to wait in line. They're going to have some covered tents, awnings, and they give you a little, tablet, and you fill out your information. They don't want any money. I can't remember why they got to register you there. I don't think you're going on a list for the Coco or something. They had a reason. I can't remember what it was. I haven't had anybody show up at my door or follow me or mail me junk or whatever because of it. Mm-hmm. But you do have to, and that might put somebody off. They go, I don't want to register. I don't want my name on a list or something, but it doesn't cost anything. So that may be why some people go, I'm not going to go to this. But, if you know about stuff in your area, that's probably what you're going to push, because I mean, you guys, Single Shot, you're on the road. So I imagine you probably stop in at something if you've got some time, right?
Yeah, once in a while I will, if they've got room for a truck to park. But,
Wanamaker does. Wanamaker's got massive parking lots, and it's
Yeah,
it's coming up in November. I might just have to go, man. Kind of keep an eye on the weather and just head out Friday night after I get out of work, and then just stay overnight there and or stay close and then go the next morning and just spend the day and come back the next day. I will say this: they did kind of start packing up early on Sunday. So if you're going to go, Friday, if you can go Friday night would be awesome, but Saturday is when you want to buy your stuff. And if you see something you want and it's something you've been looking for, just my experience from what happened when I was there last time, just buy it, because it's probably going to be gone when you come back. Like, you walk away and the next dude rolls up, I'll take it, because their prices, I thought, and this was the prices were the least expensive I've ever seen at a gun show before. It was all MSRP. Now, a lot of the stuff I could get online a little bit cheaper, but a lot of stuff and the prices varied a lot. I know that Sandils and I were looking around at the Taurus Spectrums because they had just come out and we were interested in buying one. And I wouldn't be surprised. There was almost like a $50 price difference between the tables. So you need to shop around. You need to make notes of who's got the best prices and then go back to that place if you do go to it. X Adam 1 said, I went to Wanamaker because all the cool kids said it was cool. I bought my baby Browning there at a good price. And he goes, I walked away very happy. Patriot in the Dark made a couple comments here. He goes, for the really large gun shows, I need several site privileged people because I wear them out. It's just not worth it. Patriot, Squib and I can take care of you. We got you, buddy. We got you. Patriot also says that one thing that's good about gun shows is you can pick up smart chicks. I've never tried that, but I might have to do that this fall. So Defense Dad, just point them out to me and let me know and I'll go walk up to them. I have no inner reservations. X Adam 1 says my local San Antonio gun show has been what? Oh, canceled pending a new venue. That sucked. Okay. Head Frogs in the house. What's up, man? What's going on? Somebody had made something I wanted to say. Somebody made a comment that said everybody knows the real gun show is outside in the parking lot of the gun show. There may be a lot of people that buy, sell, trade out in the parking lot, and you can say what you want, but it's not illegal. They're just following their state laws, doing their gun sales like they normally do. And for a lot of people, they might be comfortable meeting another person at a gun show to do a deal. Anytime I've ever sold a private firearm, because in Nebraska you can do it without having to use a dealer transfer. I've done it in a very public location where there were people around. I've been armed myself while doing a deal because you never know who you're going to run into. But typically the circles I deal with, they're people that I know from MeWe and stuff like that. So I've never felt unsafe. But if I was going to meet somebody, a gun show in the parking lot would probably be an okay place to do your deal if you're going to. And again, you're not breaking the law. You're just following the rules. So,
if you want to sell a long gun at a gun show, if you're looking to you need some cash or you're done with this thing or whatever, sling it over your shoulder and walk into the show. You're either going to have somebody at a table say, is that for sale? Or you're going to have somebody walk up to you and go, how much do you want for it? I've had it happen to me before. I wasn't there to sell a gun. I bought a gun and I was walking out the door. But I've seen people walk in with something slung over their back, slung over their shoulder,
flag sticking out of the barrel with a price on it.
No, but I mean, they bring it
I've seen
with.
That here in Nebraska,
they bring it with, and then people will literally walk up to you. Some of these vendors are looking for inventory, and some people are looking to get a deal. And I'm not saying that every person comes walking in with something slung, but every now and then you'll see somebody with something slung. And in my state, we can open carry and stuff like that. I mean, something I like to do is when I go to a show and I plan to buy something, I bring an empty rifle case.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
And then that dealer knows this guy's not leaving without something in that case. And the one I bring is my one that folds up to a shooting mat, and it will hold 3 long guns. And I've walked out of the gun show with 3 long guns in that thing. And, all they do is check it at the door to make sure there's no gun in it. Because they'll put the cable tie in the trigger, in the action or something like that, right? But sometimes that kind of lets the vendors know, okay, this guy's got money or this guy is here on a mission or something. It's my incentive to get them to want to help me fill up that gun case.
Squib, here in Nebraska, I just throw the rifle loaded in the back seat and go home.
F you, Travis.
I know.
F you.
Got nothing but love for you, brothers. But that is a good idea.
You guys should have seen the look on my face. It's like, Travis, this is loaded. And you're like, yes, so?
I go, hey, where's the AR, Trav? It's in the back seat. Okay, you open the door. Is there a mag? It's just sitting there. I didn't have one in the chamber, but you're like, do you have to have this in the case? I was like, no, just get it out of the back seat. Let's go. You're like, what? We have to have it in a case back home. Well, what good is a gun going to do you if it's in a case when you need it? I mean, Nebraska is much more logical about our thinking, Yeah, I might see a coyote or something I've got to pick off at 200 yards, Jeez.
I'm like looking left, looking right, going, the neighbors are going to call on him.
I might get attacked by some prairie dogs or something when I'm trying to find a place to take a leak. You never know what's going to happen in Nebraska. Hey, it's not for everyone, and we mean it, okay? Good. We just want to say that right now. So X Adam 1 says most people carry a backpack with a paper with the model price of their pistols or a long gun with a paper flag out of the barrel with the price. So I'm assuming that stuff, so either the person could sell to the dealer or that person would go out in the parking lot and do the deal, whatever. Because I was always kind of curious about that because I've never bought from anybody walking around with a firearm like that. I've only bought from people selling. And they do, some of the gun shows do allow private sales. Like I know they did at the Lancaster County one. That's how I bought my Mosin. I bought from another person that he just wanted to see my identification. He wrote down my driver's license number. I had my concealed carry permit with me and showed it to him. And that was it. So speaking of which, I need to get my permit. I changed my address and I've been waiting like 5 weeks now for it to show up. So I haven't been able to carry, which kind of bothers me. But I don't know. Defense Tech, how long does that take? Is it like 4 months now? Because I got it last time I did it pre-pandemic, it was like a week, and I got my updated permit.
When I moved it, you should have had it by now.
Okay, I know there was a backlog. I know my stepdad had to get his because his was going to expire, and it took him like I'm not kidding, like 3 months or 2 months to get his to him because there were so many people. He bought it, peak new gun owner time, so everybody was getting their carry permits and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I moved during it. It took me a week and a half to get my new one.
Okay. I better find out what's going on because it hasn't shown up in the mail at all. I've been sitting there waiting, so I'm going to find out if they've sent it or not. So otherwise, yeah, man, I don't know. So we'll see how the fall gun show season goes. I'm hoping that there's some good deals out there and stuff, and I'm just going to take cash and see what I can find. I still want that Noveske Diplomat. If anybody out there finds one, they sell for around $2,500. Give me a holler at thecalibercorner@gmail.com. I'd like to get one in 300 blackout because with an 8-inch barrel, I want the most effective amount of firepower I can get. So that's what I'd want to buy if I get it's a Gen 4 N4 Diplomat is what I'm looking for. I don't want it bazooka green. I want it in black, just as a heads up to anybody out there if you know where I can find one. I've been looking for a year. I was going to call Noveske and see if they even make guns anymore because I can never find them for sale. And who knows, maybe they were closed because of the pandemic. It's hard telling, but
oh crap,
yeah.
Travis, I went to the website for the venue that has all the exhibit halls that's holding antique arms in September.
Mm-hmm.
That's an exhibit hall B. And exhibit hall A is the regular gun and knife show. They've got 2 gun shows side by side.
So what's the cutoff for? Is it going to be like 1980 in one hall and post 1980 in the other, or what are they?
Antique arms, it's like walking into a gun museum. If it's from the 19th century or early 20th century, you literally go to a table and it's nothing but real 19th century lever actions, like 50 of them. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen real black powder revolver. I almost picked up a star revolver from the 19th century for $1,600. I was like, oh man, I really wanted that. I mean, they've got the real deal there. They might have some reproduction stuff there, but I mean, they've got World War I, World War II. You'll see, Craigs and Mausers, and I mean, and they'll have parts too. There's one guy that always shows up. It's got a bunch of parts for trapdoors and stuff like that. They'll have some repros as well. But antique arms is really what it means. It's antique. Mm-hmm. And then the regular gun show, you could have anything there. You could have modern stuff. You could have old stuff. But I haven't seen them have 2 gun shows on the same weekend before. So
cool, man.
Oh,
that's good.
Man.
They really want to get that economy rolling, don't they? Now you get that at Tulsa. You got tables and tables of the Craigs and M1 parts, and I mean it. But again, you'd have to go like 15 hours to get to it. So I can understand, So Gun Loving Grandpa says he's going to have a table at Tulsa. Yeah, we have the gun channels table. We have kind of a drop spot that we go where you can go sit down. You can kind of do what you want to do. You can hang out with other gun tubers that are part of the gun channels family, like Night Strike, myself, Never Enough Ammo. Everybody kind of gets together and hangs out. Internet access was poor when I was there, but there were so many people using the network. I was able to I actually went live from Tulsa a couple of years ago. I've got a podcast of it. You guys can watch it. We were doing it before 9 o'clock, before a lot of people were really there. And I had perfect internet access to live stream. I did it for like an hour or so. I know a lot of people tried to do it afterwards, and it was so choppy. They just didn't have any luck with it. So if I go to Tulsa this year, I'm not going to do any live streaming. I'll just maybe meet up with network with a few tables and see if I can do some interviews with people and stuff like that, like I did last time. So yeah, Single Shot, what's up, brother?
Hey, do you mind if I touch off a couple rounds?
If you do what?
Touch off a couple of rounds.
Are you going to shoot right now?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see if you show the gun on the camera, we could get shut down if you're shooting it, but yeah, no, man, you do that. We're going to wrap up here pretty soon. I'm craving a trip to the range. I've got to get that OLED video done so I can tick off all my subscribers. So anywho, but like I said, when I do the OLED tests, I do the full battery of tests on it. We drop it. We usually test we usually test the like the length of life of the battery and stuff, and the durability and all that stuff. So I'm going to actually take it out to the range and see if it'll hold up under some real recoil and so on. So, man, what do we got? Tim Foley says the one at the Pershing Center, Fremont, Nebraska, is usually good. Yeah, Gun Show. I've heard that's a good one. X Adam 1 said I was not a fan of the $12 plain flavorless burger and expensive 25-cent bag of chips for like $3. Yeah, X Adam 1. We went over to Whataburger because it was like 5 blocks away, and it was okay. It was pretty good. I've had better down in Texas, but it was good. If you do go to Tulsa, bring food with you. Also, the lines to the restrooms can be kind of long. So if you have any kind of bathroom issues, restroom issues, or whatever, you want to make sure you've got that kind of squared away. Because I remember that there was only a couple restrooms. They really need to bring in like a whole row of porta potties. But when we were there, it was freezing. It had just snowed, and I think it was November, and it was really, really cold out. So I can understand that they didn't have porta potties out there. So, X Adam 1 says, "Are you going to the Grand Island Fair? Do they have firearms there?" I'm not going to because I got family coming here over Labor Day weekend, and we're actually going to go to the range and do some shooting. So probably not. I have gone to the state fair before. It's pretty good. I think they do a really good job at it. But I will be hitting some of the gun shows, maybe traveling out west a little bit to check out some of the gun shows too. So there we go. All right. Squibby, is there anything else we need to say about gun shows? I'm getting ready to wrap it up, man. I'm getting ready to go to the range.
No, I think we talked about our experiences and some of the things that we do and some of the things we've seen, and the people in the audience are kind of chiming in with their experience. And I'd say gun shows they're not what they used to be. I'm not ready to give up on them. Yeah. But I'm only going to a gun show really if it's just to meet up with people or it's because I'm on a mission to find something. Otherwise, it's somewhat of a drive.
Well, you don't exactly have a lot of free time. You work your butt off, man. You work like 5-6 days a week, so I can understand if you don't want to burn a day of your time off to go somewhere if you're not looking for anything in particular. So
and then I don't like to pay for parking. I know it's stupid, but it's a quirk. I don't like to pay for parking, and a lot of times at the gun shows here, you got to pay for parking. Okay. So if I'm going to go if I'm going to go to that trouble, I'm going on a mission. I don't go to the gun show because I'm bored. I got money burning a hole in my pocket and I want something to do that weekend. I've got plenty to do. If I'm looking for something newer though, I'll probably just order it and do a transfer at my local FFL. So, that's just me. I'm not saying that's what everybody has to do when they go to a gun show. Go to a gun show. Especially if you haven't gone to one. Or if you haven't gone to one in another state.
And you never know what you're going to find. I've seen lots of cool things. Sometimes you find like vintage gun magazines or stacks of them people are selling. There's MREs. There's always there's the jelly granola lady that's there. Let's say your wife drags you to Knoxville and you got to deal with your obnoxious liberal in-laws for the weekend and they just happen to have a gun show. Go to the gun show in Knoxville. You might be surprised. Bring it home, piss them off, put it on the kitchen table as you eat your Fruit Loops the next morning. Look what I got. You got to
done it twice.
Sitting there. Good for you. Good for you. Everybody needs a firearm. Whether you want to use it or not, everybody needs a firearm. That's just my opinion. So I don't care what your opinion is. You should have a firearm to defend yourself, right? There we go. If they don't understand that logic, then just tell them you can't call them family. So, all right. X Adam 1 says bring cash, and I think this is for the Wanamaker. The ATMs charge a lot, and they have $200 limits. Had to take out multiple times and charge several fees. Yeah, usually it's like anywhere $3.50 to $5 per transaction every time you get cash out of a non-chain bank ATM that's not part of your network, right? Grandpa says the Philly cheesesteak ran out of cheese last time. How do you run out of cheese? Can't these people just go to Kroger and go pick up more cheese and come back? I don't understand how these places can run out of food. Let's see here. Yeah. So anyway, maybe if I do decide to go to Wanamaker, we can kind of have everything you need to know about Wanamaker kind of chat. We can talk about what you want to know when you go there, what to expect. If you're going, we did negotiate for a really good hotel price when we were down there, but there's a ton of hotels in Tulsa and the prices are pretty fair for the most part. I don't know now, but when we went, we negotiated at like literally $42 or $45 a night for two. So because we had a block of like 15 rooms that we got. So it was pretty cool. Let's see. Gun Loving Grandpa says, ask Stan about Trey riding the horse. Ghost? Was Ghost riding a pony? Did they find him a miniature pony to ride on? Was he feeding it crayons? He might have been. Oh, our favorite Marine. Patriot in the Dark says it's also good to bring kids to get them interested. There you go. Let them kind of walk around. If you go, I'm just going to say right now, my opinion, and Squib, you can disagree, so we'll try you too. Don't complain about the prices to the people selling. Offer them a lower price cash, and if they don't do it, politely move on. Don't be like, well, I can get this for blah, blah, blah. And they know you can. You don't have to point that out to them. Because like we said, they've got overhead costs, and it's going to be reflected in their pricing. But if you can negotiate, hey, if you can get that gun for 25, 50, 75 bucks less than everybody online, get it, you know? But I mean, sitting there complaining about, because I know when I was walking around, I was thinking in my mind, my God, you want $100 for a brick of 22 LR? I was going to be like, dude, I was like, is this right? And I remember I did see there was like a box of, I think 100 rounds of 9mm last year. And it said $25. And I was going to buy it. I was like, hey, and the guy's like, oh, that's not the right price. It was supposed to be 50. I was like, 25 for 100 rounds. That's not bad. So I was like, I'll take this. And he's like, oh, that's not supposed to be on there. That was supposed to be for a box of 50. And then it was $50 for a box of 100. And I was like, no, I'm going to pass, sir. He's like, okay.
So I have different little rules about that. Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit there and make an idiot out of myself by trying to make a scene. The thing is, going back to that 44 Magnum. All right, the guy back there's got it for $1,200. You've got it for $1,200. Can you give me a deal? No. All right. Well, why wouldn't I just go buy it from him? Buy it from him. I don't care. Wow. Okay. You lost the sale. Then you go to the other guy. Hey, the other guy's got it for $1,200. You got it for $1,200. Can you maybe work out a deal? Nope. Not willing to lower the price at all. Any reason why? Because I can sell this. Well, you've got one and he's got one, and they're both still in the case. So, I mean,
see you next year, bro.
Either pay this price or get out of my face. And it's like, all right, dude, you lost the sale too. I've had these guys get rude with me. I let them get rude. But every now and then I try to get a feel for what's going on. Have them give me a reason. Now, they don't owe me anything. They don't owe me an explanation. But if they give me an explanation, maybe I understand a little bit better. At the last show I went to, I picked up 2 rifles. And I picked up one from one table and one from another because I was looking for 2 particular Arasakas. And when I went to the second one, the guy said, how much did you pay for that? And I told him the truth, and I was straight with him. Another thing, too, is pictures. If they'll let me take pictures of their table, I'm going to get a little bit I'm more likely to do business with them. And you might go, what are you trying to do with the pictures? Well, for example, the guy who sold me the second Arasaka also had a whole bunch of bayonets. And he said, this bayonet would be accurate for that one. This bayonet would be accurate for that one. And he let me handle himself. I didn't have any money left, and he knew it. And I said, do you mind if he said, take as many pictures of these as you want. These are collectibles. Yeah. Another table, I was talking about that 16 gauge ammo. I ended up finding multiple tables with it. But the first table I went to, my buddy said, if you see any 16 gauge, pick it up for me. Well, I sent him I said, can I take some pictures and send it to my friend? Because he wants me to pick this up. Absolutely. I took pictures of the price. They're like holding up the price tag so he can see. Now, by the time he got back with me, I was already home. And he goes, did you get me the ammo? And I'm like, dude, I spent all the money on 2 Arasakas.
I didn't know what you wanted to spend.
And, yeah. It's like, you didn't
yeah.
text me back. So too bad for you. But when they go, no pictures, or why are you taking pictures for? It's like, all right, dude, what do you? So it's little quirky things like that. There was a guy at one show that had a beam scale, and everybody tried to get him to knock $5-10 off this used beam scale. And at one point he stood up from the table and he yelled, and everybody could hear him, I am not lowering the price on this. You people quit. Okay.
Like, got really quiet. It's like when the teacher gets upset in class.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh God, we're in trouble.
And it's like, so I understand that customers can be real jerks.
I'll sell somebody. I don't ever use it. So
well, the customers, the patrons there can be real jerks. And even though I am a jerk, I try not to, but I let these guys be a jerk. And if they are, they're going to lose my business.
Yeah.
You have to understand something. You are here to try to get me to spend money on your product or your service at your table. I understand you put work into this, but that was your choice. If you want to get the money out of my wallet, you're going to work for it. And if you don't want to work for it, you're not. I just don't care. And that's why I'm not in retail.
Next time, just make it rain 100. Be like, I'll give you 1,100 for that 44. Oh, okay. And just be like, I'll be like, I got 1,100 cash. I will give you right now for this gun. Will you go down $100? No. It's been good talking to you.
And sometimes that's what works, because like I went and got that first Arasaka, and I can't remember how much left in my wallet, but that was all the cash I had. I went to another table, and I was kind of interested in this one. It wasn't the one I wanted, but I was kind of interested in it. And the guy was going to have to lower it like $200. And I showed him my wallet, and I go, dude, seriously, this is, he goes, I can't go down. And I said, I didn't think you could. He goes, I could come down on this a little, but I can't come down 200. And I said, yeah, I didn't think you could. And I said, maybe I'll see you at the next show in September. But, but you know, I mean, I wasn't, you know, trying to be a jerk going, hey, man, take it or leave it, you know, because some people will do that. But I will literally pull all the cash out of my wallet and go, this is literally what I have. And I don't have something folded up, and, you know, but they don't know. And they know people pull stunts like that too. And if they're, you know, it just depends. Sometimes somebody just doesn't want to bring the trailer back full, but I haven't seen too much of that in a long time.
X Adam pretty much sums it up for us over there. He says, I've had good experiences, and I usually know what I'm looking for, and I know a fair price. If it's a clean example, I'll pay the higher range, or sometimes if it's hard for me to find. Now, I got to remember, it's like, okay, I can get it cheaper online. Okay, but then I'm going to pay $30 for shipping, probably. I'm going to pay an FFL transfer fee. I'm going to have to pay sales tax regardless. I got to go drive to get it. I mean, so that's why if it's something I really want and the price is fair, I'm going to buy it. But in all honesty, I haven't bought a lot of firearms at gun shows. I mean, like, I can count the number on one hand that I think I bought in my lifetime at gun shows, mainly just because the prices are so high. And me, honestly, I try to give the business to SS Pawn when I can, unless it's something really rare. Like I got a $200 Mosin at the one I went to 2 years ago. It was like a 1943. It was really rough. It looked awesome. Private seller, 200 was pretty fair because at the time Mosins were $3 1/4. You know, $300 2 years ago. I mean, they're still, you know, they're up there in price. So, you know, there's little things like that I'll pick up. But, you know, if I want something, if I can't find something online and go through my local, you know, FFL SS Pawn, then I'll pick it up at the gun show if I can find it. But it's pretty rare. So,
well, I think you touched on it earlier here, and it looks like Gun Loving Grandpa, the ammo prices were doubled, and still people buying the cases, multi cases. You were saying how, you know, new people, they have no idea. They weren't going to gun shows at the Light Guard Armory in Detroit back in 1990, so they have no idea what a gun show is supposed to be like. You know, people have all these misconceptions and
the power of inventory. Seeing it, going online, knowing I can't get 7.62x39 anywhere. I can get it here. Okay, it's $50 more than what I'm finding it online if I wanted to order it, or it's just not available. Just what do you pay the piper and just buy the case and be done with it. I wouldn't do it personally, but I can understand why some people would, especially if they're new. Like you said, or it's just, well, I'll just get it. Maybe people are buying it as an investment because they think the prices are going to go up even more. You know, that's, you know, buy a case because, I mean, look at, you know, we're paying triple now for a case of Tula or a Wolf 7.62x39 than we were a month ago. So they're literally $600 a case when they were, well, not a month ago, but a year ago, you know, $200 was kind of the regular price on a case of Steelcase 7.62x39, and now it's $500, $600, right? So as an investment piece, people might be buying ammo too. Or they just simply just want the case and they don't care, you know. And there's people that have the money that'll just buy it and they don't care, you know.
I think at the next gun show, I'm going to bring in my little pass that you're supposed to leave in your vehicle. They don't go by and check it. I talked to the gate guy about it, and they go, no, we give you this little piece. We never check that stuff. But I'm going to bring it into the show, and I'm going to say, do you validate parking? You know, if they'll pay my parking fee, if they'll knock $8 off the gun, I'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you validate parking?
What is this, a hotel? Scott79 says, I'm 0-2 on Type 38 Arisakas. First ones I bought had a duffel cut repair that's falling apart on the stock. The second one they listed as a Type 38, however, was actually a training rifle. Yeah, man, you really got to know the surplus stuff when you go there, like the stocks and
There's a video on how to deal with the duffel cut anvil. The C and Arsenal gun stuff with Mark Novak. He's got a duffel cut video, you know, so it's out there if you want to see if there's anything you can do to it, or Scott79's probably already seen the video, but
yeah. What else we got here? Gun Loving Grandpa says, I bought more knives than guns, LOL. Yeah, there's always cool knife collection. Like, you get a lot of vintage and old survival knives. And there's always that one dude of the table that's got all those knives. At Tulsa, that's funny. I think the only thing I actually bought at Tulsa was for my wife, a little pink switchblade, a little tiny one, like a little 3-inch switchblade. I was like, oh, she could use this to open envelopes or something, right? So that's all I bought was a little $15 little micro switchblade, and that was it. I didn't buy anything else.
No T-shirt that said I went to the Tulsa Arms Show and all I got was this crappy
little pink
T-shirt.
switchblade. That's another T-shirt idea. We'll put that on the T-shirt. By the way, I'm gearing up to work with a local Nebraska company to expand my merch, my T-shirt options. So we're gonna have a lot of just great T-shirt options for you coming up here pretty soon. Where I've got a fellow Guntuber that's gonna be beta testing some of their products to see how well they hold up, and if we get the thumbs up, then we're going to just push the designs off to them, and we're going to get the T-shirts out there. And they will be cheaper than Teespring, and they will be cheaper than Spreadshirt. You're supporting a local business, and it is a Nebraska-based business. So that's why it's been taking me time to get the T-shirt stuff taken care of, because I'm going to pull it off of YouTube, because right now I just sell the T-shirts go through Teespring, but this person will put whatever I want on the shirts. So that's I think that's one that we need to.
I subscribed to Travis P11, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
All I got was this guy that talks too fast and gets lost in his thoughts while cleaning his guns. Video. You know, yeah, just a lot of little irony and stuff on the shirts. But yeah, we'll just go for some great ideas. Well, I don't want to say it now because I want to keep the show PG. But that idea for the bumper sticker that I mentioned, the single shot, I think we'll put that on a shirt too. So. Anywho, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it. We're going to wrap this one up. I am getting excited to go out to the range today. It's 80 degrees out. It's finally cooling down a little bit, maybe. I was dying last time when I did my last range video. It was like 95 or 100 and like 60% humidity. So anywho, joining us today, let's give a little shout out to the YouTube side, and then we'll let everybody put in their final plugs. So New York Outcast is out there watching today. Scott 79's in the house. Guns and Barbecue just showed up. Guns and Barbecue, you got to go back and watch it. It's been a great show today. You guys are having a lot of conversation out there. Defense Dad was with us. Thanks for joining us, buddy. You were also out there. Patriot in the Dark. Tim Foley out there too. X Adam 1. Mad Sexy's in the house. Hello, he says. The Bat Biker's out there also. Gun-toting Pacifist. Probably repeat some of these. Head Frog's out there too. Gunmetal Guy USA always in the house. Thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Midnight Range TM's out there. Wheeled and well armed. Always in the house. Luke B with us today. Tacos and French fries, yes, please. Bustelo says, does anybody like Goddard Ballistics? I don't know anything about them, but I can definitely look into them, and maybe we can bring it up on the next chat. So always a possibility.
Goddard
SS Pond in the house. Goddard Ballistics.
Okay, I'm thinking rockets, like Robert Goddard, the rocket scientist.
So are we talking like Estes rockets?
Gyrojet
rockets?
Gyrojet rounds.
Gyrojet.
Oh, nice.
Okay, there we go. Maybe we need to look at like non what do you want to call it? Non-primer fired firearms and see what kind of weirdness is out there. Those caseless ones from H&K that they were making that never really made it. Yeah.
Oh, we could talk about the pulse rifle that shot a 10mm semi-armor piercing caseless.
Did you see the Nerf gun? They're making a Nerf pulse rifle that's modeled after the Aliens gun that has a round counter on it, and it makes the sound when you fire it. Did you see that? Nerf is making a limited edition pulse rifle.
Excuse me, I have to go to Amazon.
Yeah, they're $99, but they're coming out in October. But they're yellow and orange, but they are exactly the same size and scale as the pulse rifle from Aliens. So I mean, you can get a lot of.
Code it.
I'll tell you what right now. There's a lot of replica versions of those on eBay that are way more expensive. There's vinyl ones that people have made that are like $400 or $500. There's a few that are super expensive, non-functional, but they're made from like the gun parts that are out there that people have put together and bought and stuff and sold. AWAG 1000 also in the house. Luke B, Patriot in the Dark, William Maney, Scott 79, Maney or Manny. Apologize if I messed that up. Ozzy Orsborn's with us today too. New York Outcast in the house. Make sure you guys go over to rnldisplays.com and get your super sweet AR-15 display stand. It's the best way to do it. Rolling Trips in the house with us today too. I think that's pretty much about it. Mike's out there also. MKJO is with us. Tara Smith watching today. Keith Gregory checking it out. And I think we covered just about everybody. Kingpin, the first one to check in, he says, yo, yo, yo. Whew, I am exhausted. Okay, well, I'm going to go recharge myself with a little range session, but I want everybody to have fun and be safe and have a wonderful weekend. Get out there, go to the range, get ready for the gun shows this fall. And Guns and Barbecue says, figures, I'm super late. Blue Steel 44 says, adios, mi amigo. All right. And in the meantime, I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe.